Hi and welcome to the Geek Legion of Doom. This is a B-movie review and today I'll be having a look at The Yakuza Way, starring Riki Takeuchi. So this is a film that was produced in the late 90s and is basically a kind of crime revenge thriller action film. The story basically is a tale of a Japanese mafia, or the Yakuza. One of their guys comes over to the US and for a drug deal. There he meets one of these contacts, does a drug deal, and goes back to fly back to Japan, and basically gets ripped off by the sort of people who he did the drug deal with, and then essentially it turns out that the girl he was going to use to sort of smuggle the drugs over back to Japan was actually going to be his future wife, his fiance. And basically goes on a sort of trail of revenge. On the way, he kind of meets another couple who the female turns out to be his long lost sister, and it turns out that there's various other sort of people, including corrupt police, involved in the conspiracy with all these drugs business going on. So it's a fairly concise film. It's only 80 minutes long, so it kind of rattles along at a fair old pace. And there's quite a lot of action. And I've read a few reviews on this film, and it generally gets quite a bad rep for most reviews, kind of giving it 1s and 2s out of 10. And I don't think it's quite that bad. I will say that the acting is fairly uniformly poor, especially some of the sort of like the kind of criminal goons that they have. The way they deliver their lines is fairly poor, but the main character is fairly stoic and quite charismatic. He's a bit of a caricature of a kind of like typical kind of Terminator like sort of Yakuza, and so you can't take it all that seriously. His tongue is fair, it's kind of in cheeky, I thought anyway. No, I'm in no way saying this is a great film, but it's a fairly enjoyable sort of time waster. Quite a lot of action in it. One thing it does annoy me with certain action films is where you have guys who just basically stand out in the open and are kind of like just bullet maggots. They're shooting and just kind of standing there waiting to get shot. That does annoy you in films, and this does have this quite a lot. So in that respect, maybe the action isn't quite as like believable and that sort of thing as you kind of want of a film. But like I said, it's entertaining enough. Certainly, if you just kind of want your sort of like an action that doesn't really involve a lot of thinking, although it does have quite a lot of subtitles. This being essentially more of a Japanese cast. They do speak in Japanese, which I guess is good for having it authentic, but you do have to sort of obviously read the subtitles as you go along. So about 2/3 of it is probably subtitles, but with the American cast obviously speaking English. So again, that adds to the authenticity of it, but at the same time, the rest of the film really isn't all of that realistic or can be taken that seriously. So I thought it was okay. Okay, it's a bit of a time waster. Certainly nothing I'd probably want to view again, to be honest with you. I'll give this one a 4.5 out of 10, probably just below average in my estimation. So have you seen it? What did you think about it? And leave me a comment. I look forward to seeing you next time. See you later.